Class 7th, Subject English, Topic The Brook. Before we start with the poem, I want you to have a look at these pictures. What do you see in these pictures? Yes, it is a beautiful nature. And nature is a beautiful creation of God. It is a precious gift to all of us living on earth. Nature provides us with resources like air, water, and sunlight. Animals, birds, plants, etc. are also part of the beautiful nature. Nature helps us to live a healthy life. It gives us basic needs like food, clothing, and shelter. Nature has variety of beautiful flowers, colorful fish, skies, land, rivers, mountains, seas, and many more things. All these things of nature are very useful and we must conserve them. We must not damage this beautiful asset of nature. It is our responsibility to keep the nature clean and protect it from any harm. So, similar to this, we are going to learn a poem, The Brook, by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Alfred Lord Tennyson was born on 6th August 1808 and he died on 6th October 1892. He was a British poet. He was the poet laureate during much of Queen Victoria's reign and remains one of the most popular British poets. In 1829, Tennyson was awarded the Chancellor's Gold Medal at Cambridge for one of his first pieces, Timbuktu. The Brook. I come from haunts of coot and horn. I make a sudden sally and sparkle out among the fern to bicker down a valley. By 30 hills I hurry down or slip between the ridges. By 20 thorps a little town and 100 bridges. Till last by Philip's farm I flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I chatter over stony ways in little sharps and trebles. I bubble into eddying bays. I babble on the pebbles. With many a curve my banks I fret, by many a field and fallow, and many a fairy foreland set with willow, weed, and mallow. I chatter, chatter as I flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I wend about and in and out, with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling, and here and there a foaming flake upon me as I travel, with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel. and draw them all along and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I sip, I slide, I gloom, I glance. Among my skimming swallows, I make the knitted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. I murmur under moon and stars. In brambly wildernesses, I linger by my shingly bars. I loiter round my cresses, and out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. From The Brook by Alfred Lord Tennyson. I come from haunts. Haunts means a place that one visits often, where one spends a lot of time. Of Coot and Hern. Coot and Hern means coot and hern are both water birds. Hern stands for the common European heron. I make a sudden sally. Sally means a quick journey. And sparkle out among the fern to bicker down a valley. Bicker means run noisily. By 30 hills I hurry down, or sip between the ridges. By 20 thorps, thorp means Old English word for a village, a little town, and 100 bridges. So the brook starts from those places which are often visited by the coot and hern. The brook emerges suddenly in these hilly areas. It moves through the ferns and sparkles when the sunshine reflects the crystal clear water, and when the brook moves, creates a lot of noise. Also, it is an account of the brooks flowing through different areas. The poet has created wonderful imaginaries when we read the brook flowing by 30 hills, slipping between ridges, that is, long narrow hills, 20 villages, a little town, and 50 bridges. Till last by Philip's farm I flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I chatter over stony ways in little sharps and trebles. Sharps and trebles means musical sounds. I bubble into eddying bays. I babble on the pebbles. So, the poet here tells us about the merging point of the brook. The brook joins an overflowing river. Here, Philip's farm is symbolized as a landmark of the ending of the journey of the brook. The brook is ever flowing, eternal without ceasing, whereas we, the men, are short lived. We shall not live forever. We are subject to decay, decline, and death. The brook goes on the stony path, creating chattering sounds It makes sharp, high-pitched sound when the brook clashes on the side banks of the land. It makes bubbles when it falls from height in the spiral movement. When it moves on the pebbles, it creates soft pleasing sound. With many a curve, my banks I fret. Fret means wear out or gnaw. By many a field and fallow, and many a ferry for land set. Ferry for land means here it refers to a scenic place that looks like an entrance to fairyland with willow, weed, and mallow. Mallow means a plant with purple flowers. I chatter as I flow to join the beaming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. The brook moves on taking many curves and creates rough and unpleasant sound on the banks of the brook. The brook moves through many field and uncultivated lands. The brook goes through the foreland, that is, the land just before the merging point. The poet describes the land to be fairyland, as with flowers and beautiful plants like willow and mallow, it looks so. Also, the brook creates various sounds before merging with its destination. The last two lines are the examples of a refrain which highlights the eternal state of the brook and its activity at the ephemeral state of we, the humans. I wend about and in and out with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling. Grayling means a freshwater fish with a long fin, and here and there a foamy flake upon me as I travel, with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel. The brook on its way had lots of ups and downs, and in its winding movement it often falls from height and goes in deep water and comes out to continue to flow. The brook carries blossom on its way. Along with the brook, there go a lot of fishes like lusty trout and grayling. And when the brook moves, the waves clash with each other and creates bubbles, and those bubbles in group make pieces of foams. The brook moves through different curves and the clashes creates silvery water break. These foams and silvery water break can be visible on the surface of the water, and at the base of the brook there are golden colored stones. And draw them all along and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I sip, I slide, I gloom, I glance. Among my skimming swallows means swallows that touch the brook lightly and quickly as they fly over it. I make the knitted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. So the brook carries fishes, foams, and flowers with it to join the beaming river, and then the refrain comes, which means the eternal state of the river to that of transient one of humans. And the brook secretly moves through the grassy plots and lawns and moves swiftly by the bushy hazel trees. The brook shakes and sweet forget me not flowers which grow for happy lovers. Also, the brook moves along making different movements like slipping, sliding, moving through darkness, and so on. And there we find swallow birds to skim on the surface of the water for food. The brook waves create a net like structure on which the sunshine sparkles, and it seems to us as if the sun beams are dancing. I murmur under moon and stars in brambly wildernesses. I linger by shingly bars. Shingly means full of shingles, that is, small rounded pebbles or stones. Bar means barrier or obstacle. I loiter round my cresses. Cress means small plant. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. So, at the night, under the moon and stars, the brook goes on moving, creating murmuring sound through the natural land where thorny bushes grow. The brook often linger because of the stones on the way. The brook water moves purposely around the plants named cresses. After facing the obstacles, the brook again takes a curve and starts flowing to join the beaming river. Last two lines refers to the refrain, that is, the eternal state of the brook and transient state of the humans. Find the meaning of the following words or phrases. First one is ridges. Second one is breaming. Third one is edding. Fourth one is babble. Fifth one is fallow. Sixth one is trout. Seventh one is knitted. So you have to find out the meanings of the following words or phrases and write it down. Answer the following questions. First one is, Who is the speaker in this poem? So, who is the speaker of the poem? What is his name? You have to answer. Second one is, which lines are repeated in the poem? What do they mean? So, you have to find the lines which are repeated from the poem and state what it means. Third one is, where does the brook join the river? So, where does the brook join the river? You have to answer. Fourth one is, mention the various places that the brook flows past. So, you have to mention those various places that the brook flows. Spot and write any three alliterative phrases or sentences from the poem. So, alliterative phrases or sentences are those in which the same sound is repeated. So, you have to write any three alliterative phrases or sentences from the poem. List the prepositions you find in this poem. So, you have to find out the prepositions and write down. List the phrases which have the expression many a. So, you have to list all the phrases which have an expression of many a and write it down. Activity: write a short autobiography of a brook. So, you have to write in short an autobiography of a brook. Thank you.